Hi everyone, John here. I thought I'd give you a few shots of the garden before I open up this hive behind me, because if you can see, all this that's here around me is full of flowers. There's all sorts of flowers in here, lots of different ones, buttercups and all colourful different flowers and different grasses. All it is that I haven't mowed the whole of the garden. I've left this area to grow wild. I haven't planted any seeds, but it's full of flowers, and there's been loads of bees on there, all sorts, bumblebees, honeybees, all getting lots of forage. So you know, it can save you time mowing, and you can help the wildlife as well. So I've got these teaching tools that I do talks for at schools, and when we go into the hive in a minute, it'd be quite good to see if we can see any of these elements, just a few of them. You won't see that one, that was taken in my garden of a bee drinking water. We want to find the queen if we can, but that's something we'll do. There's pictures of them collecting nectar. We hope we don't find a queen cell like this. See, these are the things I use at teaching, but we don't want to find one of them in there. I would like to find this though. This is a female worker feeding the larvae. See, if you can see in here, they've got their heads in feeding. When we look in the hive, it would be good if we could see the worker bees feeding the larvae, and we'll find the queen as well if possible. This is quite a nice climbing rose over the shed. It's a parson's rose. We're going this hive now. That's Roxy the dog eating her bone. What noisy she is eating it. There's a sparrow going down to this hive, taking live bees from the entrance. As you can see, we've got a brood there and a half brood. There's no queen excluder here. I've got 3 honey supers on there, and we'll see. I don't think the queen would have gone up in here laying any eggs. She'd just stay down here, I think, because there's a bit of a honey wall just there. But we'll have a look in here together and see how much honey's in here, and if I need to add any more supers. And hopefully there won't be any queen cells. This queen is just about 3 years old now, so probably time that they might supersede you or could swarm. Just, you know, that's what they do. So we'll have a look and see what's going on. You see the entrance is quite busy. We'll have a look in this top super first, see what's going on in here. Well, that's fully capped, I see. Nice and soft honey. This frame, or this box of honey, I'm going to leave on here for... This will be for the bees for the winter, this one. If there's any in these, this is the ones I will be extracting for myself. I'll take this whole super off. This is full right to the top. Put that on there to protect the honey a bit. But we'll have a look in this box now, see what's going on in here. That's drawn out, there's not a lot in it. Make sure the queen ain't on there, because of course the queen could be up there. There's no queen excluder. We've just got to be a bit wary of that, but unlikely she'll be up here. that one's capped just around there, look, and this is all full of nectar. That whole frame is really, I would say, 80% full of nectar. That is. Have a look at a couple more. That's about the same, you see. So this second box down has got, I would say, a couple of weeks to go before that's fully capped. That's the same. This side is fully capped, look. So that's looking pretty good. Right, so I've taken this frame out of this honey super. It doesn't really need it. It gives them a lot more room here now, so that they can build the comb out really nice and fat up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 frames in there. There was 12. That'll give them a bit extra room now too. And I can put this in another hive. It's not a problem. We'll have a look on the third super now. That's about half full, that is, with nectar. There's no queen on it. There's a little bit of capped there, look. That's about 60% full of nectar, that one. That's quite a lot of capped on the back. Honey, this is all honey, nice and soft. Half capped, look. That's about 60% capped. That one's not fully drawn out, so put that a bit nearer the brood nest. And that one's not drawn out at all. So that one that wasn't drawn out, I'll put that in there because that's drawn out. So they've got a bit of room there. This one is not drawn out yet, so it's not time for fourth super yet because there's still a bit of room in here. So I won't put a fourth box on yet. Now we'll have a look in the brood nest now. As I say, there's no Queen Isolde here, but they're not putting eggs up in it, or the queen isn't. Right, we're getting to the brood now. This is the half brood. We'll see what's in here. I'll take this out first, give them a bit of room. There is room in here, see, for the queen to lay, because that's not even fully drawn out yet, so it's good to see they've got room. Let's have a look in here now. That again is honey, half capped. I'm not seeing any nectar in here, so you know, like really runny nectar. So obviously we are in the nectar dearth, or we're in the June gap where there's not so much nectar because it's not all dripping out. There's no eggs up here yet, so the queen's obviously in the bottom box, I would say. And that's no Queen Isolde. Oh, here we go, look, there's some brood here. Right, there's a merged brood there with no eggs, which is a bit concerning. There's loads of eggs in this one, so we've got a viable queen in there still. Loads of eggs. This whole frame is full of eggs. It's oh, yeah, there we are. It's full of eggs, that is. There's some nice bees there, nice and friendly. Look, staying on the comb. They're just milling around doing their own thing. You might see in some feeding the larvae. That one there, look, if I point to it, if I try and point a bit, you see him going down feeding the larvae. Watch, that one is feeding larvae. See, it's got his head in there. It's got his head in and it's feeding the little larvae. Looks sad. Yeah, look, see the little fur on it? Looks, there's a little bee there, look, feeding the larvae. Right next to my hive tool. You can see it's got its head in the cell. This one here, got its head in the cell, and its bum up in the air almost, look. It's just come out then. There's another one there going around. This one here is poking her head. She's poking her head in to see whether they need feeding, look, you see? They're continually looking to see if they need feeding. Hundreds of times a day they feed them larvae. This is very soft, this propolis, so you can almost open it up with no hive tool. So you've got a lot more brood here now, and I would say it's not the best pattern in the world, but it's a 3-year-old queen, so. But look, nice and gentle. This is a Cannellonian queen in here, and a lot of people say they swarm a lot, but these haven't swarmed in the 3 years I've had her, so they haven't even attempted to. So we're just doing it gently like that. Open. Yeah, there's all eggs in here. There's eggs everywhere on these frames. So my concerns are okay now. Where before I thought, oh, have I got a queen? Oh look, that's a nice pollen frame, you see. Look at that, they've got plenty there. Look how glistening it is. They've got loads of nice different colours pollens in there, and it's all really juicy and healthy to feed the babies. Look, the larvae, look at that. So they've got loads of room in here. We'll put this back now. I'll put that in there, that'll give them a bit more room. Right, I'll take the half brood off now and look in the main brood box. We've got a dummy board here. That's an old honey frame. I'm not touching that. Look at that. This is probably a couple of years old, I don't know, but look, it's a bit stiffer that. You've got some soft up there, look, harder there. But they can still use that. It's still runny, a lot of it. There's a nice pollen frame. There's a bit of spotty brood, I suppose you could say, but it's all got larvae in there as well. Oh, there's a pollen frame, look. And it's also got quite a lot of drone brood there, look. I thought that was a queen cell there, but it isn't, it's empty. You can see that it's completely empty in there. This whole frame is full of eggs and brood. Some there's no room in there at all for a queen to lay. It's full up, but it's just that the pattern is not the best. But for a 3-year-old queen, pretty good. She's still going, isn't she? She's still laying nicely. We're going to get 2 supers of honey off of this. Well, there's the queen, look. Just here, on the end of my hive tool. There. She's looking around for a place to lay her eggs. So, yeah, it's a nice queen. Just there on the end of my hive tool, look. All queens are nice, aren't they? She's gone through the hole in the frame and out the other side, I think. So there she is again, look. So she's there, and she's got a little bit of a red mark on her. It's worn off over the years. Can you see? It's there. So she's not even noticing me. She's an old lady, and we've got a little flake up there. Let's have a look in there. This is the sort of place they put a supersedure cell, which is not. We'll put that down there now. So the queen is safe in there, look. We'll have a look through here. There's a lot of drone brood here, look. See, quite a bit of drone brood, but there's also worker brood as well. There's a lot of worker brood here, you see. There we are. So if you're just quiet and gentle with the bees like that, you'll be okay. They don't. I think once you start banging bees, squashing them and things like that, that's what makes them defensive. After a while they get used to being injured by the beekeeper. So if you just take your time and don't squash any bees, you might squash 1 or 2 by mistake, but do your best not to, and the bees won't be so defensive towards you. And look, if you push the whole frames like that, none of them are getting injured. Except one there, I can see. I've got her out of the way. So the queen's down in there. We'll put that back. We know the queen is safe in there. Right, let's put this dummy ball back now. Queen's nice and safe in there. Put this frame back. I'll have a look underneath this one just to check there's no brace comb, which there isn't, look. So there's quite a lot of room in here for the queen to lay. So I'll just get these beads off the edge, and then I'll put this one back so you don't squash any. So we know there's room in here for the queen to lay. It's not full, so that's one thing. And we've got enough room in the supers. I don't need to add another super. Put this honey super back. That weighs about 20 pounds, that, this one. So with your honey supers, it's quite good not to jam them in tight, have a little gap here like this, look, between each one, and then the bees can draw it out a bit thicker than the frame, and you'll have a nice easy comb to extract the honey. Whereas if you have them jammed in tight, it's a little bit more difficult to cut the wax off, I find. So this is the best thing, you can get spacers, yeah, you can get a 10 frame spacer or whatever, but I just do it by hand, the old fashioned way. So there we are. Like this box I can hardly lift, it must be £30 of honey in that. So they've got plenty of honey for the winter. So that's the way I do it. If I can, I like to leave them a box for themselves. Right, that's them back together now, all nice and neat. Queen is safe, plenty of room in there. I've just got this frame I've took out, I'll put that in one of my other hives. Right then, hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. Loads of honey means loads of money. Well, we was able to find that the workers on me, the female worker, feeding the larvae, just like there is on these diagrams. So, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you all on the next episode. Ta-da! See ya!